this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to do a comparison video. We're going to compare the Binbond B102 and the Poedagar 930B on the leather straps. Let's start out with the wrist check on one of this Guy Design PD-YS020. And Greg was wearing my Spectin Sun homage to a Piaget Polo. Grego asked me why I wasn't wearing that Christopher Ward that I just unboxed. I said I was waiting for more links. I told Grego I knew a Chris Ward in the Air Force. He said, does he make watches? I said, no. Does he have anything to do with the company, Christopher Ward? I said, no. He said, then why did you bring it up? I said, just trying to make conversation. All right, let's take a look at the two watches. Neither one came in a box. I wanted a Binbond B102 on a leather strap because I figured it was easier than trying to put a strap on a metal braceleted one. However, when I purchased the Binbond, the store sent me a Poedagar instead. But I still wanted a Binbond, so this time I ordered it from the Binbond official store to make sure I wasn't sending another Poedagar. So now that I have both and they are very similar, I decided to do a comparison video instead of reviewing each. Basically, this Binbond cost me $7.65, but is now going for $12.51. And this Poedagar, I paid $6.17 because once again, I thought I was buying a Binbond, and they sent me the Poedagar. And this Poedagar is currently going for $14.99, so it's a little bit more expensive than the Binbond. Both watches are 37.3 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, but 39.7 millimeters at the case. So I have a feeling the bezels and the cases are identical. And they're both 45 millimeters long, which is another good tell. Now, when it comes to thickness, though, the Binbond is just a hair thicker at 11.8, where the Poedagar is 11.3, but not enough to care. And where the straps meet the case, too, the Binbond is 26 millimeters, but the Poedagar is 25. So as you can see, there's a little bit of gap on the Poedagar. But they both taper down to 18 at the buckle. And the Binbond is 51 grams and the Poedagar is 49. So almost the same weight. So they're really similar watches. Then, of course, once again, they have the exact same chrome-plated bezels. And then the dials, though, if you look at the Binbond, it's a little bit deeper blue, and if you look at the Poedagar, it has a slight purple tint to it. I kind of like the blue of the Binbond better. It's just more pleasant to me, although they're very similar. But if you look at the writing, though, the Binbond, here, let me get the hands out of the way. I never prepare for these videos. So anyway, the Binbond says Fashion Watch 1853. Well, I'm pretty sure that this watch did not come around in 1853, or the company. And why do we need Fashion Watch? And the Poedagar, though, just says Poedagar. So cheers for the Poedagar for keeping it simple. They both say Quartz on the bottom, and you both get 30 meters water resistance, just enough so you can wash your hands safely. And since they're both leather watches, you're not going to take them swimming, so that's fine. Then they both have the same applied indices without Lume, with doubles at the 12. And the hands are very similar. They're both fence post hands. But if you look at the Poedagar, it looks like the Lume strips are a hair thicker. So I thought that meant that the Poedagar was going to have better Lume, but you'll see in the test that it doesn't matter. Then also, let me get this out of the way. If you look at the date windows, the Binbond seems just a hair higher. And they both have unlumed running second hands. And then they both have unsigned push-pull crowns. And they both have domed mineral glass crystals. Once again, the Binbond is just a hair thicker. And then they both have identical chrome-plated cases. Now, when it comes to the case backs, they're about the same too. They have their names and logos in the middle. The Binbond doesn't give the model number. The Poedagar does. And they both say stainless steel course, this one says best metal bezel. I don't know what that means. And then it says resistant. I assume that means water resistant. And this one says stainless steel back, which is a good indication that the rest is not. Then it says water resistant. So I guess I give the case back to the Poedagar because it doesn't have broken English. I don't know what stainless steel best metal bezel means. Then underneath the case backs, I pop the case backs just to look at the movements. And the Binbond says SL28, which doesn't make sense because the SL28 is not a day date. And the Poedagar says SL23. And then I tried to look up in SL23, couldn't even find it. So I'm assuming it's the same movement. Just they probably didn't get too carried away with putting them together. Then, of course, they're both day dates. And if you look at the date wheel, though, or the day wheel, though, the Binbond, oops, wrong way. The Binbond has two different languages. And I don't know, I'm assuming this is Chinese. I don't know for a fact. But the Poedagar, let me get the hand out of the way. The Poedagar is just all English. So if you care about a second language, the Binbond's got you there. Then we have the straps. The Binbond, like I said, the strap meets the case better, but there's no writing in the middle, no indication that it says genuine leather or anything like that. But the Poedagar, even though it's shorter, it doesn't meet the case as well. It's actually signed, it says genuine leather. Then another big difference too is the Poedagar is a lot shinier. The Poedagar has a patent leather-like finish, where the Binbond's a little bit more dull. So that's the biggest difference between the two. So if you like your dress watch shiny, then the Poedagar is definitely a clear winner there, because that you really can't tell by my camera as much as you can by viewing it, but this is one shiny strap. Then the buckles are identical, even have the same shape, and they're both 18 millimeters there, and they both have two keepers, one fixed, one floating, and they're about the same size. So once again, the biggest difference between the straps is one's shiny and one isn't. Here's the Binbond on my 7.5-inch wrist. Looks nice, wears nice. I have 2 notches left though, so 8 inches is the best you're going to do without needing a new strap. And of course, the whole point of buying this watch was it came with a strap. So if you need a new strap, then don't buy this watch, get the one on the metal bracelet, and then you can put a strap on it. And it'll fit a PRX style strap. I would not try a PRX style bracelet, but a strap should be flexible enough. You should be able to make that work. And here's the Poedagar on my 7.5-inch wrist. Once again, the watch is almost identical in size. And once again, I have 2 notches left on this strap. So 8 inches is what you're going to do on this one also. And like I said, the case is identical. So if you need to put another strap on it, a PRX strap will fit just fine. Here we are in the Lume room. Since these are dress watches, they would have been fine without Lume, but since they have it, we might as well test it. As we speed up the time, I thought that the Poedagar would have better Lume since the hands appeared to be a hair thicker, but now that we see it in action, it is a tie. Everything fades quickly at the same time, with our hands being a hair better than the minute hands. Equally bad. What is the biggest difference between the two watches? The Binbond is more affordable. The dials are just a bit bluer. It doesn't have any purple tint at all. The Binbond does have a taller day date window. The Poedagar has a less cluttered dial. The Binbond has a second day language on the day. The Binbond strap fits the case a little bit better because it's a little bit wider. But the Poedagar has a patent leather shiny glow to the strap, and it's genuine leather. And the lume on both watches is about identical. Well, there you have it. So basically, if you like your strap shiny, get the Poedagar. If you don't, save some money and get the Binbond. Well, thank you for watching my comparison video of the Binbond B102 versus the Poedagar 930B, both on the faux crocodile straps. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like either one of these watches, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a tiny commission. Those tiny commissions do add up. And next month, when I get my next round of commission money, I should have enough for that Steinhardt I've been wanting to get. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. There you are, all 6 of you. Really appreciate the support. Wish the list would grow, but I'll keep the program going as long as I have members. But once again, though, I haven't sold the Members Choice watch yet, so it might be a while before we have another vote. And hopefully I get my links for that Christopher Ward in a couple days, and then I can start wearing that so I can get that review out there. Bye.